Thank you very much, Ibu Gilda, right?
Yes.
Ibu Gilda, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I think I'm the moderator, but how come my seating is not in the middle? To moderate things, you need to be in the middle, but it's okay. All right, without further ado, I would like to call out for our honorable panelists. We have 4 people here. First is I would like to call to the stage Ibu Elena Kountoura, member of the European Parliament. Pak Sabta, would you like? All right, okay. Ibu Elena will be online. Okay, next will be Pak Adi Satria. Online too? All right. I believe the next one will be... Hello, Elena. You're still...
Hello, how are you?
mute,
Thank you for
perhaps.
inviting me. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Can someone help to unmute Ibu Elena Kountoura?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, loudly,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello, nice to be here with you. Thank you for the invitation.
All right. Okay, we will have some wonderful discussion then. Next is Pak Adi Satria. Pak Adi, are you online? Pak Adi?
Hello, I'm here.
All right.
Nice to meet
Wow.
you. Nice to meet everyone.
All right, okay. All right. This one, I believe, is here with me offline. Pak Armand Steinmeyer, the Vice President of Business Development, the Ascott Limited. Come to the stage, Pak Armand. All right. Take your seat, okay. And last but not least is Bapak Paul Endmundus Talo, Chairman of Indonesia Inbound Tour Operation Association. All right. Please
Thank
be
you,
seated, Pak. Okay. Okay.
Have to be close to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Don't worry about the empty seat because we are in the land of gods. So some of the gods perhaps substituting, the empty seat here. All right. Okay. We are talking about the future. This is a very tricky thing because the only certain things about the future, I think, is our death, right? Right? But we are not talking about death. We are talking about the future of work, jobs, skills, education. Distinguished panelists, we have been and we are still in the period of COVID-19 with all of those impacts surrounding us. Some of us lost our jobs, perhaps. And because we are losing our jobs, we are getting creative. We are pretty much into the creative economy. That's why we have the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, right? That's why we have you, Bapak Steinmeyer, Armand, to tell us about, to share with us about how are we going to overcome all of these problems. Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure. This is a very, very wide area of discussion. All right. So I think for the first opportunity, because Ibu Elena Kountoura is the only lady here, I would like to give the opportunity first to Ibu Elena to share to us some thoughts, perhaps from the perspective of the European Parliament. You are the member of the European Parliament, right? How to overcome this future of works? What kind of skills should we require to overcome our future problems? what kind of educations should be put there to anticipate everything, and what kind of jobs that is going to be our favorite of job in the future, especially, of course, in the tourism industry. So, Ibu Elena, probably around 5 minutes of time. It's yours, Ibu, starting from now.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank you for inviting me to join you today with this distinguished guest and this exciting panel. Well, travel and tourism is all about connecting people and places. It's not only a catalyst for economic activities and revenues, but a very effective way for cooperation, exchange of cultures, and for bringing progress in local communities across the world. Therefore, tourism concerns us all and affects us all, and should be high on the agenda of policymaking and also in the public dialogue on how we shape the future. The pandemic has indeed changed the way we move and travel, and also had a huge impact in the workforce. So right now, unfortunately, we are experiencing a chain of parallel crises that continue to impact travel and tourism, along with the pandemic, which is still here. We should not forget that. This crisis emerged from the war in Ukraine and other geopolitical tensions around the world. The economic crisis is very concerning, with the rising inflation and soaring prices of goods and services. And of course, this makes even more difficult for the transportation and for the budget of the tourists. Don't forget the fuels, the ticket prices as well, the operational cost of the whole chain, the hospitality chain, such hotels, restaurants, cafe, local businesses. So on European level, we have pushed for bold action to prevent a domino effect in the travel and tourism sector that have been hit very hard, as I said, in the past 3 years. And our main concern is for travel to return to the pre-pandemic levels, to become more resilient and to be able to adapt to the new environment with the least possible losses. This is why the European Parliament, with 4 resolutions, we have asked first and foremost that EU provide adequate financial support to the sector, especially small and medium-sized businesses, because don't forget that almost 80% in the hospitality sector are small, medium-sized businesses and family business. Through the Next Generation EU, which is the main European program funding recovery, we have asked for increased funding to enable the sector's recovery and also its green and digital transition, including incentives for green hospitality infrastructure and for upskilling and reskilling of the tourism workforce. In my country, for example, Greece, recent research showed that less than 4 out of 100 businesses have access to bank loans, and only 6 out of 100 are funded by the Recovery and Resilience Facility and other European funding programs. So it's very important to support the small, medium businesses to survive, especially in times harsh crisis. And it's all about protecting social cohesion, equal opportunities, employment, and for maintaining the unique characteristic of warm, personalized hospitality that travelers seek. I can also say one word about the workforce. We need to work the public and the private sector to make better conditions for the employees and also best salaries.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibu Elena Kountoura. Big applause to Ibu Elena for sharing the thoughts with us. Next, I would like to go
Yeah.
to you, Armand, because you are the Vice President of Business Development, the Ascott Limited. How do you perceive, our problems after the pandemic COVID-19, which is still here, and about the future of work, about what kind of, I would ask again, the most favorite work or job in future, especially in the tourism business, that can really overcome the problems that we have, that we are having right now. So please share your thoughts.
Yeah, so thank you. I think the key really is that first, as Ascott, we are first and foremost an operator.
Yeah.
So as an operator, we work through a lot of our partners that we build up with different owners around the world. And our job really is to manage. So management, I think, is really a key word here in terms of when we talk about the future of work. So the pandemic, yes, has had a major impact, and I think that our job is really to ensure that we can build careers for people to really make it a resilient industry. So I think that one of the key cases is that as we went through the pandemic, we had to find mechanisms really to protect jobs, but also at the same time, we have a function as well to make sure that those jobs are rewarding, that they are in line with people's values. And I think that really this is a big moment of transformation that we're going through right now. So as we all know, there's difficulty, there's a labor shortage in the hospitality industry. That's very important in terms of tourism, as you can imagine.
Yes.
But like Pa Sandi said earlier this morning, is that there's also a drive towards bringing quality back to tourism. Maybe not to focus entirely on volume. So with all these sort of transformations, I think that what we have to really do is, ride with this transformation. So in a management level, I think that we need to make sure that our jobs really are coming closer in line to the values that we as companies also put out, but at the same time that are in line with the values of individual people. We talk a lot about sustainability. We talk a lot about gender equality. We talk a lot about social mobility. I think tourism has a big role to play in all this and is a major vector for career development in places that are beyond the big cities where most of economic development takes place. So that is our job, I think, as operators, to work with the investors, owners, to really help create those jobs and then to create mobility and to live those values.
So about the sustainable tourism, what do you think are the key factors in sustainable tourism? Because this is a new concept, I guess. Sustainable tourism. So what is a sustainable tourism?
So sustainable tourism, I think, is still something that we're exploring, right? Because the word is positive, but it can mean many different things. So I think that what we see is that we know some of the very developed markets, like there are the global destinations. Bali is one of them. You could talk about Phuket, Spain, so on and so forth. But I think that different countries are also at different stages of that development, and we want to be accompanying this. So when we work with our owners globally, essentially we are looking as well, not just the international tourism flows. We talk a lot about international arrivals, but what's important, I think, is also the local market, the regional market. So sustainable tourism is not just relying on planes of people coming into a country, but also in making it accessible for people in the country or within a region. I think there's a very important part of sustainability in terms of who are the tourists, the consumers of travel. The second part is also, I think we have a duty as well to work again with our investors and governments and other partners to make sure that the destinations that we're in, that we're contributing to that.
All right.
So when we have a hotel or a service residence in a key location, it could be anywhere really, when we partner with some investor locally, we want to make sure that our management practices are sustainable for the people on the ground so that we employ people locally, we give them careers, that's important. Two, it's also that we help as much as we can to maintain the destination. I think that's absolutely key.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Pa Armand. Yeah. And next, I would like to have some sharing thoughts from Pa Talo as the chairman Indonesia Inbound Tour Operators, because Pa Armand said the tourists are not just coming from abroad. We should also, take care of the
care of
internal tourists, because Indonesia is a big country with big number of people. So, Pak Talo, would you like to share some thoughts on how are we going to overcome the future work, the skills, about the jobs, about the educations that should be put to overcome, to anticipate, the next problems perhaps in tourism? Please, Pak.
Pak Gunawan, thank you. Before answering your question, I'm actually nervous. Not because of the question, but nervous to talk about humans, the people's future,
Yes.
the jobs,
The
the
jobs.
education,
Yes.
according to the topic.
Yes.
That's I'm nervous. You know why? 200 more my members of Indonesia inbound tour operators are waiting what I am talking about.
Yes. It's like a commandment.
Yes, indeed. So, after 2.5 years, you have said just maybe 5 minutes ago, what we have is actually debt.
Yeah.
What the people or the companies has today
Yes.
to work and to pay debt
Yeah.
that they already had 2.5 years ago.
Yes.
And that's a big
Yes.
job.
Yes.
But we also think how to call all those staffs who are at home today. They are not in the office. They are not in the
Yes.
companies.
Yes,
They are in the hotels. There's only more than big, probably today. They are busy. But there are thousands of people that are out there, still
Yes.
at home and waiting for the call from the hotel.
Yes.
Call
yes.
from the management when I'm going to work.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Number one. Today, only some companies in Bali, for example, I give an example. Probably from 400 tour operators, inbound tour operators, there's only 217 active.
Wow. So
Where the
are the
rest?
rest? Yes.
The rest are, we don't know.
Dormant.
No hotels, no offices, no telephone numbers.
Wow.
We call them, they disappear of COVID, because of COVID. Then now we're talking about the life of those staffs who are still waiting for jobs. We're talking about jobs.
Yeah.
In my company, for example, I have 57 staffs,
All right.
more than 40 guides, but the influence to that job is actually more than hundreds people. Only 9 people were called to work today.
Wow.
The rest, they are waiting for my call. When Paul will call me. Hi, Mr. Talo, I'm hungry at home. I think it's me. But actually the other people, the other companies also feel the same and think the same. We actually, the key point is actually what we have to do today and the next. As for example, I just came back from London for WTM. What I have done there is to meet more companies, more tour operators to tell them, hey, Indonesia is open now.
All right.
You can come, bring your tourists, because we work based on B2B.
Yeah.
And the others is B2C and so. But we call them to come. When we have more participants, more tourists to come, we call more people to work.
Okay.
Otherwise, we cannot make it.
So words of mouth is important in this case. People telling people.
No.
should-
It's actually B2B system. It means to talk to the companies.
Okay.
I went there to talk to the companies. Belongs to the world,
Yes.
from everywhere.
Yeah.
But before I'm talking, but I continue. Is there any bankers there in this room? No?
I used to be banker. Used to be.
Good. If you are now, then I'm going to fight you then. You know why? When we were in the crisis, we went to the bank. No bank can give you that.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No
believe that,
bank, any bank can give you, this I can help you because you are tour operators. You are hoteliers. Nothing.
Nothing. Yes. Exactly.
And then we have to work hard to pay the bank also. what we have done is to pay the bank, to pay the hotels, to pay the salaries, to pay any, and sell also. We sell cars, we sell any properties that we have.
All right.
Education. Yes. What we need is actually not the people who have outside there, but the people who already had. We call them to learn IT, for example.
So this is like a vocational thing. Right?
Yes, indeed.
All right.
That we have to do today.
Yeah, yeah.
We cannot expand the theory. If I say today, I say, okay, I can look for people who are more clever, and those people at home will come to my home today, and they bring their knife and they say, Paul, we will kill you.
Yes.
So I think that's all I can talk.
All right, okay. Thank you very much. Big applause to Pak Talo. It's very implementative sharing of thoughts, I guess, from Pak Talo.
Thank you.
All right. So I will go to the next panelist, Pak Adi Satria. Well, he is a hotelier, the Senior Vice President, Operations and Government Relations of ACCOR. So Pak Adi, please share us some thoughts on how to overcome the problems that we are having now because of the pandemic COVID-19, regarding to the future of works in accordance to jobs, skills, as well as educations that are needed, well, to overcome the problems or to anticipate maybe the next problem that we will be having in our very near future. So, Pak Adi, please, the time is yours.
Thank you. So, distinguished panelists and audience, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this time. It is a pleasure to meet you all virtually. Look, for us in ACCOR, what we've done, obviously throughout the pandemic is at the beginning of the pandemic, we realized that this is going to be a long-term problem for everyone, us in the industry especially. So was lucky at that time for us that we've managed to secure some financial, I would say, assistance that comes from our global team. It's a fund called Heartist Fund, right? This is a very unique, and I think we're the only one who's doing it. We're very quick to provide this heartfelt support for our Heartists. We call our talent in the company Heartists, right? So it was supposed to be a fund that was, we need to give back to the shareholder. That was 2019. As we come to 2020, we're supposed to do that, but then we managed to allocate 25% of it, and we create what we call All Heartists Fund. This is about 70 million euro fund devoted to help group employees and individual partners affected by COVID-19 crisis, either due to job losses because of our hotel closing, or for health issues due to COVID. This initiative reflects the ambition of the group and its shareholder to provide a meaningful and significant contribution to global solidarity initiative to address the situation. This is very important for us. Why? Because this fund is able to assist, thus retain some of our key talents within the hotel when our hotel is closing. So not many, I would say, maybe other group of hotel or group of chain able to do this. These are very unique for us. And, so far, just a real case, ACCOR has provided roughly total of more than 5.5 million USD for 12,000 beneficiaries. This is in Indonesia alone. So this is to assist the 14,000 employees that we had. And at that time, we have an issue. So when our hotel is open, and thank God, luckily, we managed to continue our growth momentum. This year, we have had open around 7 or 8 hotels within the country. We're able to retain those talent and provide, opportunity for more growth as we open our hotels. And at the same time, we deploy a technology throughout our hotels, self-learning tools like ATM. We make a cooperation with ATM. It's a company where we did a joint force, a mobile workplace solution to empower all self-learning tools. So for all of the different modules, because we're no longer able to provide a face-to-face learning at the time during COVID. So we're blessed and we're lucky. We are in the position where now we can use those talent that was on dormant, we should say, the past few years throughout COVID period. And when we come back, we could come back quite quickly to the market, and we could reopen and re-engage those talent. So this is these are very important. Our artist member was very appreciative for this, and this is something that we continue will apply. And as a result of that, so far we managed to continue growing, and these are the key for us also: continue growing, continue opening, and continue to work with various different government bodies or different partners that we have throughout the region, the countries, where we could secure those steady revenue stream for our hotels. And as a result of that, we could continue work on different mobility growth. And we are also trying to provide different level of flexibility in terms of work hours for our artist member. These are crucial for them because they need that, and they could feel it at the time when they are all working from home or half working from home, when half of the hotel are closed, and they can see the difference now. And when we are providing those different options for our talent and for our artist member, they become loyal to us, and it is crucial for our growth and our momentum throughout the region. So far, we have had open 7 or 8 hotels in the country. We'll open more next year, and we'll continue to recruit different type of recruitment, obviously, now compared to before COVID. But then again, those tools, technology, the different type of environment that we are providing on top of competitive, obviously, pay, this definitely is crucial to retain and to re-engage on those artists or talent, future talent from outside also of ACCOR.
All right, thank you very much, Pak Adi. Big applause to Pak Adi. Well, we still have around 2 minutes left with 4 panelists. Of course, maybe for half minute, I would like to have some motivational words from each one of you, starting from maybe Pak Adi. Pak Adi, do you have any motivational words for the current workers as well as the future workers for ACCOR, Pak Adi? In half minutes, perhaps?
Yeah, always look for opportunity, because in different cases, even on the hardship, there is always an opportunity to grow, and that would be the key momentum for each of you.
All right, thank you very much. A very good quote. What about you, Pak Talo?
We are actually depending on the tour operators or wholesalers around the world who cooperate with each companies. So, for example, I work with 200 numbers of companies around the world. Depending on them, how many people they can send each month, or 6 months. We actually expect to have daily arrivals. Tourists who come from abroad, from whatever countries is, they come to Bali or they come to Indonesia. We serve from in every cities in Indonesia. So very depending on this, and then every employees who are at home, they can come and help.
All right.
They come and help, or some of them, they can call them. We call them to work, maybe in a week or in 2 days, whatever, depending on the travel schedule.
All right, so they should be ready for that opportunity.
Indeed. So waiting for the lucky and opportunity.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Pak Talo. Thank you. A very good advice from Pak Talo for the current workers as well as the future workers in the tourism. What about you, Pak Armand?
I think
In business development perspective.
Well, I think actually more generally as well as that, in hospitality, I think what's important is passion. So
All right.
be genuine, I think be passionate about what you do, invest in yourself. The more you do that, I think that sort of, that honesty that comes with passion, I think is really what makes a difference in terms of how you work and who you work with.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that was true before the pandemic and will continue to be true after.
All right, thank you very much. Last but not least, I would like to have some closure statement from Ibu Elena, perhaps. Just a
Thank
couple
you
of
so
words,
much.
Ibu. Yeah.
I have to say that employment in tourism suffered a great shock in the first year of the pandemic. And as we know, there was a loss of 60 million jobs globally. You remember the great resignation phenomenon that happened because of the workforce during the lockdown and the restrictions was either laid off or put on hold. So for me, it's very important to support policies to ensure decent work conditions and better salaries in the sector, and also education, reskilling and upskilling, because these people are the heart of hospitality. And it's important to make sure that the tourists will have the service that they deserve. And one word for resilience, innovation, and sustainability is everything about tourism, because it's not only, as was said before, the arrivals or the revenue. This data has to be for the social and local economy as well for every destination. So it's very important to make sure that the sector will give the best services, because as we said, the way of travel changed so much.
Thank you very much. Big applause to all of us. To the gods on the empty seat. All right. So I will give back the time and place for.
I am muted now, so I'm
All right. All right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together.
Thank you very much.
Gunawan, Yasni, thank you so much for managing the time so well.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
thank you.